Yes, guys, welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. I'm Gianni, today's host, and we are joined by Bigman Bakar, who's going to be with us in a couple of minutes, but we're also joined by you guys in the chat. Hello to everyone watching on catch up. Hello to everyone watching live. It's fast turnaround time. It's a very fast turnaround time. 8 p.m. deadline this evening. That is 10 hours from now, which is why we're streaming in the morning to give plenty of time for people to watch this show. We are in today's show, though, going to be digesting what we've learned from Matchday 2. And of course, showing you, Lewis says, yes, needed this right now, showing you what we're doing in Matchday 3, right? Matchday 3, for many, certainly for me, will be a limitless chip. So with that in mind, if you've got your limitless chip, are you using it? Yes or no? I think that should be a poll we ask you guys in the chat, because I genuinely can't see a reason to keep it. Some might say for the final. No, if you've got a limitless, for me, Matchday 3 is good. What we know is a couple of teams are already qualified top. So they're the only two teams I think will see big rotation. Spain, they qualify top. We're going to see mass rotation. Portugal, qualified top. We're going to, I think, see mass rotation. So with that in mind, knowing we will have a wild card next week anyway, that's mandatory, then I think we can go on some wild shouts. Like Diogo Jota, he's going to start. Orizabal, Dani Olmo for Spain. These guys probably going to start. I think I'm willing to take a couple of punts because I like their fixtures very much. They play Georgia, they play Albania. Are you using a limitless chip in Matchday 3? Do vote yes or no. 3 a.m. in Canada, says Lee. Hello to all you guys. Bjorn had Baumgartner as his captain. Fair play. Fair play. Guys, will you do me all a favour? Hit those buttons. You know the buttons. There's 3 buttons to hit. One is like. One is subscribe if you're not already. And the other one is the notification bell when you do subscribe. That'd be cool. João Felix. Yes, Lewis. That could be a great shout. I do prefer Jota, I think. But yeah, João Felix, absolutely. Guys, at the end of the show, we will do a dedicated Q&A, so stay tuned for that. That'll be a big man special. Wildcard Matchday 3 for Ben. Use Limitless already. Yeah. I guess my question is, like, if you've got your Limitless, why are you not using it? Let us know if you're not. If you're saving it for the knockouts, why you're saving it for the knockouts. That'd be really interesting to know. We can probably, show you my points in Matchday 2. Shall we have a little look at how I did in Matchday 2? Ice G, how unlucky has Lukaku been? Matthew, Lukaku is cursed. Yeah. I nearly took the armband off for Bruggen and put it on Lukaku. I was never going to put it on Ronaldo. So yeah, this is how I did. Is this my team? Yeah, this is my team. So I probably shouldn't have taken Gula in and left Calafiori. That made I was 2 points down, but I had to gamble. But what do we think, guys? Rate my team in the chat. Double Germany defense came in. Okay, we know what happened with Italy. Mark Gahey is a beast for picking up those recoveries. Calafiori, I think, had 10 recoveries as well. He scored no goal and still got 3 points and conceded. Bruno Fernandes, yes, please, coming good. But De Bruyne was the star of the show. Player of the match, 12 points, combined with Lukaku for a goal. And Bruno combined with Ronaldo for a goal. So those combinations, when you do get a goal and it's one of your players getting the assist and the other one getting the goal, is absolutely dreamy. There's just no better than that. Leao is suspended. Is Pedro Neto now the replacement? No, Bjorn, I don't think he is. But Portugal are also going to finish top. So I expect Ronaldo to come out as well. I think Diogo Jota is the shout. I really do. Jota can play left. He can play central as the 9. I think he'll be the 11 regardless, won't he? So who do we like from this team? Who don't we like? If I was going into Matchday 3 with 2 free transfers, not going to lie, this team looks all right. Hello to FPL Veteran. Hope you're good, man. Hello, Milan and Aleko as well. Yeah, I look at it and go, it would have been an all right team, but I've got the chip, and I don't see where I'm going to use it later in the tournament. So knowing it resets to wildcard ahead of the last 16, 76% of you are going with that Limitless. Fair play. Couple of players I'm not sure in this 11 that will be starting. We have to address DeMarco. Fede DeMarco is Italy's best defender. He's 5 million. He gets forward at will, but he missed training yesterday. Even if he starts, I think Croatia probably score. So I think DeMarco might now be a risky pick. So when you see my team, which will show you when Bigman comes on, when you see my Limitless team, which will show you in a minute. Yeah. DeMarco's come out. I think I've got Donnarumma cover. I've made a couple of tweaks to the one I posted earlier. I'll talk you through them. Shall we have a look how Bigman got on in Matchday 2? Let's compare. And producer, let me know how many points he got, because I can't add that up. But versus me, I'm keen to know how many points. I know we're all in a mini league together, but I think I've stolen a little bit of a march. I think I was 78 points, I think. Let's just check that, shall we? How many points did you get? Put in the chat. Did you get, we should do a, I don't know. Did you get under 70, 70 to 75, or 76 plus? Something like that. Let's see how you guys did. I got 78, so I'm very happy. I had a bad match day one, though. So Bigman here, his captain went really well. So maybe he did outperform me, actually. Didn't see all those captain points. Gundogan in the first game. He'll be very happy with that. He had the clean sheet come in for Portugal last night. Guardiola was his transfer, a little bit of a letdown, and Fast came in good. Double German defence like me. Kvaratskhelia didn't get anything. But yeah, I had De Bruyne. He didn't. But excuse me, he had more. If you think I look a little bit ropey, by the way, guys, I'm off the back of quite a big night out last night. If you follow me on Instagram, you'd know that I was going to be a bit ropey this morning. Yeah, sharing a room with my daughter whilst away in a Premier Inn. She screamed all night. Screamed all night, honestly. I think it's the worst night's sleep I've had since I've been a dad, which is 2. Oh, let's flash up some of these scores, shall we? Pieter, 80. Renus, 88. Otto, 96. You guys are smashing it. Ben, 87. Are you all in our mini league? We will put our mini league details in the chat or at the bottom of the screen. It's also in the description. But some massive scores. 101 for Aleko. Big man did beat me. Damn, it was his captaincy. 88 from Gundogan. He will be, 28 from Gundogan. 88 in total. Big man will be very happy. Where is Big man? Is he coming? I think he might be. We won't show teams until he's here. Gary with the 56. Sparta with the 65. Hopefully you got big plans for match day 3. What I'd say is if you're losing out to the field massively, then think about some differentials. Think about your Spanish players in match day 3. Ricky's not happy on 91. Are you mad? Yeah, Colm got 86, but 37 last time out. My match day 1 was bad too, guys. Match day 1 was a real tricky one, wasn't it? I think I got 50. Yeah, 50 and 78 I'm on. There we go. Mini league codes at the bottom of the screen. Shall we see what ratio of you have hit those buttons? 73 are watching. Hello, team. But only how many likes? 19 likes. Gutted. I'm doing this from my deathbed. Come on, guys. Hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel if you can. Yeah, Veteran likes the Danny Olmo pick. Me too. I think I'm going with about, or maybe both. Yeah, maybe Ice G. Reminder, DeMarco could be out for Italy, by the way. Loads have got DeMarco. Guardiola was disappointing for me and Big Man. We both put Guardiola in, and now we're lumbered with him. We think, not many people are expecting massive Guardiola points for the Italy game. That Italy game is massive, by the way. Do you guys want to show me a little bit of confidence? Should we do a poll? Who is going to, what will the result be? Italy, Croatia. Italy win, a draw, or a Croatia win? If it's a draw, Italy go through as second place, I think. They go through ahead of Croatia. Right. Yeah, 77% of you are going limitless. Henning says, desperate some good advice. We got that for you. Wait till you see our match day 3 teams. Croatia, ciao, ciao. Ha, Bjorn. Don't even. Yeah, there's some big match day 3 games, isn't there? Scotland, Hungary. Where is Bigman? Predict the result for Italy versus Croatia. Italy win, draw, Croatia win. Be generous. Remember, draw sees Italy through. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Big man is on his way. Should we talk about England? Manon says, "Where's Big Eyebrow Man? He's here, isn't he? Yeah, Big Man's got even better eyebrows than me." Will England beat Slovenia? Let us know your thoughts on England and who should play next to Trent in midfield. Let us know your thoughts. If you're watching on catch up, let us know in the comments as well. Italy are defensively strong. Ah, here he is. Hey, big man.
How are you? Hello to all the listeners and viewers. I was just getting back from a lunch, so got a bit late driving back. Nice shirt, Gianni. Nice to see you in the Italy shirt. Positive for Matchday 3?
No, but the chat have just voted that they think Italy will win. So, I mean, all we need is a draw. So, positive is the wrong word, but optimistic, absolutely. Croatia haven't been great. In Italy against Albania, I thought they played well, so just more of the same. But yeah, mate, I'm suffering today. I'm suffering from my ill bed. So yeah, I've got the Italy shirt on, but apologies if the voice is a bit croaky. I had a big night out last night, so shame on me.
No problem. I can do the talking. Are you using the Limitless ship?
I am. Are you not? 76% of the chat are. I don't see the point in holding it for the groups if you've still got it.
I completely agree because when you look at the template of most teams, there are, let's say, minimum around 6 to 7 players you'd like to change, and I think that's significant given the format of the game, given that it's a short format. This is the time where you have to make the gains. And when are you going to use the unlimited budget? I mean, this is the week where the likes of Spain are going to rotate. You'd want Mbappe probably. You'd want some of the Portugal boys, right? Some of the
Yeah.
England boys. All these guys are pricey.
Yeah. Yeah. The two teams, I guess we know are. Am I right? Spain are through as top, so Spain are going to see rotation. Germany aren't through as top because if Switzerland beat them, that's an issue. But let's see, we'll get the Germany lineup. Will there be rotation there? I don't think there will be much. But Portugal, the other one, big man. Am I right in thinking Portugal are through top now? So that also going to see
Yeah.
big rotation.
Yes, exactly. So Portugal will see rotation. The likes of, for example, Jota can open up as an option on the Limitless. Similarly, with Spain, it's sort of difficult to predict who's going to start, but maybe Grimaldo or Isabal, these kind of guys, they become options because when are the managers going to play their French players? I mean, it's meant to be in this stage of the tournament. And one of the reasons for holding the Limitless ship earlier on was for this week as well.
If you use your limitless in match day 2, like Rabayet, who is at 4.5k in the world, do your wild card now, because that's not the same question as do your limitless now, because the wild card's more powerful in the respect that your team doesn't reset to its original one in the knockouts when loads of teams have been knocked out. So if you have used limitless in 2, would you use wild card in 3? No, we all get a wild card ahead of 4.
I don't think I will actually. I mean, it depends on the number of, let's say, the flags he has in his team from his matchday one team. If it's not too significant, I would want to hold the wild card for, let's say, the quarterfinals, because that's when you have only three free transfers to navigate, and any upsets can scupper your plans. So I think the best way possible, if your team allows it, is to hold the wild card till later. And I assume he's played the limitless, so he's made some sort of gains as well. So even if he sort of loses some points to the field this week, it's kind of all right.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think I'm with you there. This is interesting you say about Spain. Lewis has just given his predicted team. I've got the likes of Rithabal, Navas, Grimaldo, so the fullbacks to start. Change and goal. I just think they'll do it. Ferran Torres. We could see Oyosi Perez starting, Hosselu. Danny Olmo
Raya over
starts.
Raya over Simon, you think?
Lewis
Tough to
does.
say, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure with
Yeah,
goal.
exactly.
I feel similar with Germany tonight. I'm like, I still think Neuer will start for Germany.
It's difficult to say. The good thing about the Germany lineup is that apparently, according to rumors, their back four is going to remain unchanged. We don't know what rotation will happen in the front eight. I mean, the likes of Fulkrug, maybe he can become an option if he's starting.
Yeah.
He hasn't been bad. Maybe he can come in, become an option. But this is the thing. Even on the limitless strip, I think there will be plenty of variety. I don't think there will be this template that a lot of people will follow, because there are still plenty of options to pick from. Because I mean, at first glance, when you look at the bookmakers projections for goals scored, France, Portugal, Spain, England, and Belgium are top, right, with Germany just a bit behind. So I mean, these are five decent enough teams with plenty of options out there. So I still don't think there will be this template that a lot of people will resort to.
Yeah, I'm buzzing with that. I like the fact that Limitless of all the weeks, match day 3 is going to have huge variance. It's going to huge swing, which I love. Lewis Robson said Perez out, Athletic confirmed, Raya confirmed start. Oh, interesting, Lewis. Thank you. So that is from the Athletic. Does that mean no Danny Olmo then, Lewis? I guess it does. Okay, should we see our teams? Big man, I've showed your points
Sure.
from last week. Just to
Yeah.
digest on that, 88, you must be chuffed.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that, and I mean, the tone was sort of set right away with the triple Germany, especially the captaincy on day one, and that was basically what caused the big swing. So I'm really happy with my performance. The first week was sort of underwhelming. I think I scored around 49 points. This week was much better. Uh, I mean, I got Ronaldo, and he sort of got me some returns, but the defense was key, right? When you look at Costa, Faiz, Star, Mittelstadt, Gundogan, captain. I think that's what sort of formed the core of the team. So I would have taken 88 points any day of the week. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, your captaincy was huge. I didn't get the captain points, but I was happy with 80 too. I think I got. Lewis, that team you've put in, I guess, is pretty accurate then, which is really interesting because the likes of Zubimendi, Buena, Marino, they're all really cheap, 5.56 million. I mean, I don't know how much attacking threat you get from them. Orithabaus feels like the obvious midfielder if you go in one, but it's put me off Olmo. That I was looking. Were you looking at Danny Olmo as an option for Spain, big man?
I wasn't actually, but I mean, I'll honestly consider whoever is playing in the attacking three for Spain, because they have
Yeah.
one of the standout fixtures, and I would still expect them to do well against Albania. I mean, I won't be surprised if they scored 3 or 4.
Yeah, fair point. Okay, let's have a look at our teams then, shall we? In terms of how we're using our limitless chip. This is exciting. I've had to make a couple of tweaks to my team, big man, because I made it before Portugal qualified last night. So I had the likes of Ronaldo and Cancelo in, who I just don't feel comfortable risking for a start. Do you think they'll start?
It's tough to say, honestly. Especially with Cancelo, they have Dallo, they have Mendes. Do they really need to play him? Ronaldo, I guess there's this factor that he's Ronaldo, and they can easily play Ramos from the bench. But I mean, I think I sort of feel better with some of the other options. I was eyeing Jota maybe. I think Bruno's slightly more nailed to start, if I'm being honest.
Just
If
doesn't
you
miss
want a
games for
Portugal
any
player,
team, does he?
exactly, he just never misses any games. But yeah, I think Jota is a decent pick.
Yeah, nice. Let's have a look at Big Man's team then, in terms of how he set up. This is his team from last week, but let's have a look at his team from match day 3. This is your...
Yeah, this is my team before the Limitless. So just to explain to the viewers that why I'm using the chip. Now, this isn't a terrible team on paper, right? I mean, I guess I can roll with this team. I can use 2 free transfers, maybe get rid of Lunan and Trent, and roll with this team. But again, let's say if I was using the Limitless chip, how many of these players would I have on the Limitless? is
None.
the question,
Well, you'd have
right?
Lukaku,
I probably have Lukaku.
maybe a German
Um,
defender.
maybe a German defender. Maybe I don't think I'd pick a Belgium defender. Yeah, so I don't think I'd pick Feist. Maybe a German defender. I definitely won't have Guardiol, Sudakov. I may have Ericsson. Actually, I'm considering Ericsson. But again, the point is that most of them are suboptimal players to own, right?
Hmm.
Which sort of makes me lean towards free hit, towards using the limitless chip. It's basically free hitting, actually.
Yeah.
Uh, just think they're short format game, big gains to be made. Might as well use the chip.
Yeah, nice. How do you feel about the German midfielders tonight? Like, if we get team news that Musiala and Gundogan are starting,
I'm not feeling as hot because I
no.
think even if they start, they could get rotated in, like, let's say, an hour's time. We saw
Mm,
even in the previous week, Musiala and Wirtz didn't play 90 minutes. They got subbed around the 60-minute mark, which isn't ideal. Gundogan is the 90-minute man over there, but even I'm not exactly confident even if he's going to play 90 minutes. I might pick Gundo if he's starting, but again, I'm not fully convinced there.
yeah,
And
no, I
I
hear that.
generally think there are better teams to target, better fixtures to target. I mean, let's put it that way. I think I'd still have Kane if given the option. I still think I'd have Kane.
Any England midfielders for you?
I don't think so. I still think that attack is heavily sort of reliant on Kane, and it's Kane or bust. Honestly, I'm not exactly considering, Bellingham or Saka, Foden. I'm not even sure whether Foden or Saka are going to start.
I've got Bellingham, but I haven't gone Kane. And that's because my front three, I've gone Mbappe, Jota, and Lukaku. Mm. Um,
Mbappe, Jota, Lukaku. Yeah, that's fine as well. It
yeah.
does save you a ton of cash, and then you can spend big in midfield. I assume we've gotten a big hitter in midfield, maybe De Bruyne.
Yeah, but remember, cash doesn't matter. I'm on Limitless.
Yeah, again, I forgot. So that's a good point. Again, you can
Do you
just
reckon we
buy
can
whoever
see
you
this in
want.
FPL ever? It's a good chip, isn't it?
I like the idea, actually. I mean, but again, the thing with FPL is that we tend to use our free hit chips in blank game weeks, right? And in blank game weeks, most of the teams that are playing are not big teams, so we don't really have the issue of
Hmm.
budget generally on the free hit anyway, right? This I remember this season I had what Nottingham Forest players on my free hit. I remember having Morgan Gibbs White. A lot of people had Elanga that week, and we had Region, and that was a terrible experience. He got that red card in game week 29. So yeah, you're bringing back memories I don't want to be reminded of, Shani. Game week 29 is one to forget.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you there. If we're looking at individual teams this match day, how do you feel about the Netherlands against Austria? Because I thought the Netherlands were quite good against France. Do we like any of the Dutch midfielders, for example, like Xavi Simmons or a Frimpong, who's this as a defender?
Again, the issue there is going to be the predicting the minutes. And I
Hmm.
think Austria aren't terrible. So I don't
No, they're
like
not.
Netherlands should win. Netherlands should win, but it's not exactly a fixture which is there to target. It's a decent fixture. I mean, again, when you look at the odds, Netherlands have like a 28% odd of keeping clean sheet, 1.55 projected goals. They're all right. I mean, it's not good enough for a defender, but for maybe an attacker. But even then, will Simons even start? I'm not sure. I mean, apparently he is in the rumored team, but again, an early sub won't put me off.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I hear that.
Coming,
Okay.
I think we should sort of go through the main fixtures one by one and sort of
True.
discuss the main options that are available. So let's start with, from top to bottom in terms of projected goals scored. France are top here with 2.45 against Poland. Now Poland haven't looked convincing at all, and I think this could be a fixture with, especially with France still having something to play for. France, I think, could go big. So Mbappe, if he's fit, is I think he should be a shoe in most teams.
I think so too. I think so too. But I do look at the rest of the French team and go, oh, I'm just underwhelmed. Like the defenders are all right because France look like they're going to keep clean sheets, and Kunde and Theo are in my team. But
I'm gonna
there's
I'm gonna pick
midfielders, is there?
Theo as well. I'm gonna pick Theo as well, and Kunde's been really good for recoveries. Remember in our previous show, Dean was speaking
Yeah.
about Kunde's recovery. So Kunde's decent for recoveries, while Theo is obviously the more attacking. Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll pick Theo if picking one simply because of the attacking threat. But I don't mind the double up. I mean, France are very, very highly rated to keep a clean sheet. They're only actually second after England in terms of the
Mm,
odds. So I like the idea of the double up. Might go there myself.
yeah,
Might go
no,
there.
no, me too. I think that's where I'm at currently. We'll see my team in a second, but yeah, big man, let's go full screen. Come off your team and look at those teams as you mentioned one by one. So lead us through it.
Yes. Yeah. So the second fixture I'd like to talk about is Portugal Georgia. Now, again, we're not sure about Ronaldo starting. Jota is classified as a forward.
Hmm.
He is kind of the standard option if you want a midfielder. I think Bruno is going to start because he always tends to do. Uh, Defensively, it's sort of tough to predict who's going to start. Is there a defender, Ruben Diaz? Maybe I'm not sure, or
That's
maybe the
the one I'd go
goalkeeper.
for minutes. I'd just go Diaz is surely nailed. Like Pepe's so old, needs to be rotated. The fullback says there's depth, but Diaz just feels safe.
Yeah, and maybe the goalkeeper as well.
Maybe, but they've got a couple of good keepers, haven't they? So again, I'm not even sure if we see goalkeeper
They have
rotation.
Jose Sa. Yeah, they have Jose Sa, I think,
And
on the
they've got Rui
bench,
Patricio. I'm not even sure who's
and
second choice.
Patricio. Yeah, exactly. So again, I don't think it's worth taking the risk for a goalkeeper position,
Mm,
especially on the limitless ship. Then there's Spain. We've already spoken a bit about Spain. Grimaldo, the standout defender of choice, you think?
yeah. Yeah, he's so much more attacking than Cucurella, left back, 5.5. He's in my team. He's in my team.
Simple. And maybe Raya to consider as well if he's rumored to start.
Yeah, I mean Albania, all I'd say about them is they did pull a few goals out the hat. You know, we've seen them score a
And
couple
they
against
scored
Croatia.
they scored very, very early as well. I mean, I
Yeah.
had DeMarco in game week one when you, I think, doubled or tripled up on their defense, and then in the
Yeah.
second week I bought Guardiol, and I had
Me
my
too.
clean sheet wiped out, I think, within the first 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
they've scored early in games, but again, it's just that you're backing the strength of the Spanish team to sort of keep them out. And I still think there's a reasonable chance that they do. The bookmakers are giving them a 44% chance of keeping a clean sheet, which is decent, I think.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I don't know if I like the double up, but Grimaldo alone is good. I'm a bit surprised that predicted lineup that we had put in the chat earlier. I don't know how accurate that is, but Danny Olmo's omission is annoying because I was going to go Olmo in midfield with Arithabal, but that's fine. I'll still go for one of them. Like a Ferran
Sure.
Torres, unfortunately a forward, which is annoying.
Then we go on to England versus Slovenia. Now the interesting thing that is that England are ranked fourth for projected goals scored. Like the bookmakers are projecting them to score 2.1 goals, but their clean sheet odds are the best actually. They're 52% chance, very, very healthy. I think Gehi's going to be in my team for sure because he's making a lot of recoveries, and I mean at that price, he's 4.5 million. I think he's a shoe in my team, given the fixture, given the odds. And I think I might as well go with Pickford as well. I think there's a very good chance I go with Pickford.
I've got the two as well. I've got the two as
Yeah.
well. I've got those two and Bellingham. I've not gone Kane. I don't have space in terms of forward spots, but I'm with you. The ball recoveries from Gehi were great last time out. And Pickford, he plays on a different day to a load of the other good goalkeepers, which is useful. Like I'm going Pickford and Neuer if Neuer starts. But there's others that will look at Donnarumma, Manyan. You might go Jose Sa if you think he starts, or Raya. So there's good goalkeeper options this week, but Pickford's the best.
Yeah. Currently, I'm not considering any of the midfielders from England. I think there are better options out there from different teams. But I guess it's you can go with Bellingham if you want. Belgium, Ukraine. I mean, this is interesting now. Belgium still have a lot to play for. I don't think this game will see rotation simply
No,
because of
they're all
what
on
is at
3
stake.
points. All
Yeah,
four
Trossard,
teams.
I don't think is an option anymore because he
No,
was rotated last night. Which it's basically still Lukaku, De Bruyne, maybe Fais. Those are the key three players to own.
yeah, Doku played well again, but he's so deep. He's like a wing back.
Exactly, that's the issue.
Yeah, I am looking at. I mean, Doku actually, I think is he listed as a forward or a mid? I'm just checking now. Doku is listed as
I'm
a
not
forward
sure.
as well, and so is Lebacchio, who again started last night instead of Trossard. So these guys are all listed as forwards. So and Openda comes on, Bakayoko comes on again, more forwards. The listings for Belgium have been wrong in my opinion, but yeah, Lukaku, De Bruyne feel obvious. They're my two.
Perfect, makes sense. The next one is Germany versus Switzerland. Now, The key thing here is that Germany will have the lineup. We can make changes accordingly. Apparently, the back four is going to be the same. We might see some rotation up front. Will you go with someone like a Fulkrug if we get news that he's starting?
I don't think so. I don't think so because one, I don't think he plays 90, but two, forward spots are just really tight for me. Like I just don't have the forward spots to play with. So yeah, my front line's pretty set. It's Mbappe and Lukaku. That's 2 of 3 nailed, and then I'm 100% going in on Jota and annoying these lists as a forward. So that's my front three sorted. It means no Kane, but it means no Fulkirk if he's starting as well.
I think I agree. This is simply the point that you made regarding him not playing 90 is enough to sort of put me off. I guess if someone is chasing early on and if he wants a differential captain, it's not the worst idea in the world, but it's sort of out there. Now after this, I mean, these were the standard fixtures. Then there's Denmark, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Italy, Hungary, all these kind of teams. So I mean, they're sort of middling fixtures. And from these teams, I'd actually like to discuss the midfield options because from what we've discussed so far, we haven't really nailed down too many midfield options in our draft. So when you look at the midfielders that we've discussed, I mean, France, we haven't really discussed anyone. Portugal, maybe Bruno Fernandes, but even he's a bit of he's not exactly a shoe-in like he was early on in our teams. Spain, maybe Oyarzabal, Olmo, we're not sure about. England, again, we don't really know whether we should have any midfielders. Belgium, maybe De Bruyne, but that's it. I mean, Germany, again, we're not sure. So where are we going for the midfielders? This is one of the reasons why I'm actually eyeing up the likes of Eriksen or Szoboszlai. I mean, I know Szoboszlai hasn't really done much so far, but I'm backing Hungary to score against Scotland, and if they do, there's a very good chance that Szoboszlai is involved, given that he's on, set pieces, penalties, and is playing as the number 10. And Eriksen is Eriksen. I mean, a lot of things flow through him. He will have plenty of routes to points. So I like the Eriksen idea as well.
I like him as an option spots. Like I've struggled for midfielder spots. It's why I've got Bruno in my team. I don't really want Bruno. I don't say he's absolutely now to start either, but because I've had that Dani Olmo spot too, I'm looking at my midfielders going, oh, who do I replace him with? Like a Spanish defensive mid, not really. So yeah, Bruno's come in, but then also for me, that's another reason why I've Jude Bellingham. It's like I've got a spare England spot. I do think Bellingham is the pick. So yeah, my midfield as things work, it's one I'm not fixed on. If I saw Leroy Sané was starting for Germany, could I go there?
I think I might go there. Sané was starting, honestly.
Already.
I think Sané I might go for. I think I'll pick one Germany mid if
yeah, and I still want that to be Musiala. If Musiala starts, he's 100% in. He's my captain. Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, again, it depends on the lineup. I think Sané, if he starts, I think there's a good chance that he gets close to 90, simply because there's nothing much at stake for Germany. So might as well go there.
Yeah, exactly. Interestingly enough, Pieter and Irfan in the chat, thank you for updating. Labacchio, who started for Belgium last night in the front three, is suspended. So does that open the door for Trossard? I think it probably does. Now, Trossard is listed as a midfielder. Do I prefer Trossard to Bruno? Maybe I do. Don't know. What do you reckon, big man?
Triple up on Belgium attack.
Yeah,
Lukaku, De Bruyne, Trossard. I mean, it's not out of the equation.
And Lukaku will probably be my captain that day as well if we get there.
Yeah, he's been very unlucky not to have scored so far. I mean, the guys had three goals ruled out for offside. Took his goal really well last night, I thought, but was ruled out. I think he's due a haul, honestly, at this point. Speaking of which, coming to captains, what options are you looking at the different days of the match day?
Yeah, so Musiala match day 1. Oh, sorry, first day. Second day, it'll be my Spanish player. Another reason to pick a Spanish player is the Monday options. And then Tuesday is where we get more fixtures. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we have 4 games. So Tuesday, currently, I'll be looking at an England player, I think, because I won't own...
Mbappe?
Mbappe, I will own Mbappe.
You have to go Mbappe, yeah, exactly.
Mbappe. And then on the last day, it's again the battle of Belgium or Ronaldo versus Lukaku. Well, we don't think Ronaldo will be playing, but Jota is a legit option. If we see that Jota's starting, well, we won't, unlikely, because Portugal are the second fixture at 8 p.m. and the deadline will be 5 p.m. But Lukaku is obviously a good option too.
Exactly, and one of the things that I'd sort of like to mention here on your no Kane idea was that I don't think a lot of people captain him, especially when he's playing on the same day as Mbappe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the reasons not to pick him. But I guess because funds are an issue, you might as well go there. Irrespective, it's just whether you think there are other three forwards in the game who might outscore him, and I guess Gianni feels that way. I'm still not confident that might be the case, but. Yeah, I mean, so far Mbappe and Lukaku, I think I'll definitely have. The third one is between Jota and Kane.
Yeah. Good Beast makes a good point on Trossard. Bakayoko could come in. He's similar in terms of a bit more flying winger. Similar profile. Big man, let's have a look at my Limitless team. I made this before Portugal, so let me tell you the changes I've made.
Let's go.
My Limitless team is here. Apologies for if it's a little bit grainy, but Olmo has come out, so that midfield spot is up for grabs. Is it going to be a Trossard? Is it going to be a Bruno Fernandes? I'm not sure. And then at the back, DeMarco missed training for City yesterday. I think that's now too risky. So I've gone Jules Koundé on a double France defence. I've also swapped Cancelo out because, again, Cancelo after what he did. So, yeah, I'm not quite... I've got a defensive spot up for grabs. I might just keep DeMarco in, and roll the dice. And then in goal, I've got Pickford and Neuer now as well.
Yeah, I think you can... or even Pickford and Raya is fine if you can do that. And because you're not picking Dani Olmo, that's a slot that opens up. And these teams are playing on different days, right? So Pickford and Raya could work as well. Yeah, I think I'll be very, very similar to your team, actually. I think the main differences might be if I choose to pick Kane and the fact that I'm considering the likes of Eriksen and Szoboszlai as opposed to, two from your midfield. So that's going to be one or two differences. So the key differences are going to come in midfield. I think the defense is very, very likely to remain the same. Who's going to be your Cancelo replacement? If
might go
Conte is going to come in for DeMarco.
I might go Mittelstadt,
Yeah, that's a decent option.
He's starting. Again, or we think he'll start. I do like Switzerland, but I think that could be quite cagey and tight. It could be a 1-0 win. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see too many goals in that fixture myself. I agree. And same with Scotland-Hungary, actually. I think it's probably going to be a 1-1 kind of game.
Yeah. I'm looking at maybe Raya as an option in goal now,
Yeah. Pickford, Raya.
Pickford, Raya combo, is it?
Grimaldo, Gehi, Hernandez, and Koundé. And the fifth one can be maybe Mittelstadt. I think that's yeah. I think it's going to be the same for me. I think the defense is going to be the exact same. In midfield, I think I'll have De Bruyne. I think I'll have one of Eriksen, Szoboszlai at least. I'll definitely have Oyarzabal. That leaves us with two slots. One of them will be Germany mid. I'm not sure which one to go for as of now. And then there's one slot that's left and that's still sort of up in the air.
I don't mind the Hungary option, like a Szoboszlai option. But then when you compare Szoboszlai to Bruno, you just go, Bruno plays for such a well-functioning team in comparison. If we think Bruno is the better option.
Yeah, but Bruno is going to be in place of Bellingham in my team, right? Basically, it's the almost slot that we're discussing. Yeah, and there's no standout mid to pick in that slot. I mean, I think Szoboszlai is actually better than Bellingham if picking one this week. It's not exactly clear cut, but I think England will score more goals. But it's just that I fancy a higher goal involvement percentage for Szoboszlai.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Guys, we've got loads in the chat. Please do hit the buttons. Dean is also in the chat if you've got any questions for him. Dean is doing very well. Dean, let us know your score. But yeah, I think you'll beat both of us with your brilliant match day one. He's given Szoboszlai the armband versus Scotland. He's also looking at Fulkrug. He'll be able to change that if Fulkrug doesn't start, because we're going to get team news, remember, for the Germany game. And Sokan says, price changes coming from the next deadline. Don't forget that. We will see a couple of tweaks. Guys, we're going to do a Q&A for the final 15 minutes. So that's the good news. More good news is going to be Big Man answering all of the questions. Thank you, big man, for volunteering that. I,
No,
however,
no
am
problem.
going to be departing because, as you may have guessed, I'm pretty much on my deathbed here. So 45 minutes is
No
my
problem.
absolute max. But we will be back ahead of the next deadline. Dean will be back in the mixer. So please, please, please stay with us for the next 15. And if you're just joining, go back and watch the last 45. It's been a great show. I was like, I don't care how bad I'm feeling. I still have to do my fantasy team. So I'm not missing out on streaming and chatting with you guys. So if you want to show your support for the channel, hit the subscribe button and do like. But for now, big man, I'll hand back to you, mate.
Cheers, Gianni. Have a good sleep, and I hope Italy cheer you up tomorrow. Thank you for taking the time out to do this, irrespective of your health. I know you put this show first always, so thanks, mate, for doing this. I'll take care of the questions.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys. We'll see you very soon. Bye bye.
All right, guys, send your questions in. I will try and answer as much as possible within the next 15 minutes. Any Portugal midfielder to consider? Doubtful on Bruno. Uh, well, honestly, it's very difficult to say because we think that a lot of them are not going to be nailed for starts. So I think Bruno is probably the one I'd consider. I'm not 100% sure whether he starts, but if I had to pick one out of the ones that are there, I still think that Bruno is the safest pick to go for. Sudeep is asking Mbappe, Griezmann double up. I mean, a lot of people were fed up of Griezmann because they gave him the armband and they don't really want to have him in their teams again. I think Griezmann is fine, but I think there are better options to consider because when you look at the forwards, especially on the Limitless, uh, I guess you can go with Kane, Lukaku, Mbappe, even Jota. So do you have to really pick Griezmann as a forward? I'm not that convinced. But if you have him and if you're not using the limitless chip, I don't think he's a bad option. I think he's fine, honestly. And if you want to go with a differential, then as a differential pick, he's not terrible. He's fine. Will you do a wildcard draft for match day 3 on X? I I can if you want. A lot of people will be wildcarding later, so I haven't done it yet. But if you want, I can sort of go ahead with it. What France defenders would you pick? I think Theo Hernandez is the best pick. I think because he's the most attacking of them all. I am not still convinced whether Saliba will start. Koundé should start and has made plenty of ball recoveries in the first 2 games. So even though he isn't as attacking as Theo, the good thing is that this game is rewarding those recovery points. So that might bode well for you. Ericsson or Szoboszlai? Samarth, I'm not sure myself. I'm in this exact same predicament. And I mean, as silly as it may sound, I've had Ericsson for the first 2 games. Um, so I might as well go Szoboszlai for the sake of going different on my uh, limitless ship. Because honestly, I think this is a coin toss. I think both Denmark and Hungary are more or less going to score a similar number of goals. They're projected to do so at least. And their goal involvement percentage is similar as well. So I think I'd probably go with Szoboszlai here. Just gives him, I'd give him like a slight 55-45% edge, but it's honestly nothing. You can just flip a coin and make your choice. Next question, please. Next question is from Sokan, who's asking, Varga shout if Mbappe is out, not on a limitless. Um, Vargas? Who's Varga? I don't understand the question. Aishi, what would you do if you own Shaqiri and he starts against Germany? If you're not on limitless and you have 2 free transfers, I'd get rid of him. I mean, I'm not even sure if he starts, to be honest, in the first place, because uh, from what we've seen, he sort of tends to start the easier games. Germany's a difficult game. I mean, I'm not sure whether he starts. Even if he does start, I think I'd sell because it's a relatively tough fixture for Switzerland. And again, this depends on your team. If you have bigger fires to put out, I would keep Shaqiri. But let's say if you don't have too many fires to put out in your team, then you can play him. Like for example, if you have Trent or Lunan or players who are not playing, you can. I would prioritize getting rid of them instead of Shaqiri who's starting. But if you have a fully stacked squad of 15, then it's not going to be a problem. Gary is asking, will Gundo play? I guess we'll find out before the deadline because Germany are playing tonight. So I think he will play. But the good thing is we can wait till the deadline, so I don't really have to make a big call on that. Would Yamal or Williams be worth a punt? Again, minutes are the issue there, because the Spanish team is going to see a lot of rotation, and we don't still reliably know who's going to play. It's very difficult to predict the expected minutes. It's a complete lottery. It's a complete minefield. But if we hear something before the deadline or any rumored lineup which gives us an indication of who's playing, I might as well go there. Gianni was fairly high on Danny Olmo, and we discussed Orith Eval as well. So those are the options we're sort of looking at. Next question is from Lewis. Has your mindset changed to border covers yet, or still looking at attacking fullbacks? To be honest, it has to quite a large extent. Actually, when we were discussing Gehi, I mean, Gehi is not the kind of player you'd ideally consider to be explosive in FPL, right? But in Euro Fantasy, he's gotten like back-to-back 8 and 9 pointers, if I'm not mistaken. So the centre backs especially are doing the bulk of the damage when it comes to these kind of hauls. Even Sutulo this week from Croatia, he got like, I think 5 points, which was like, I think 8 or 9 recoveries. So you don't necessarily have to go with the attacking wing backs, especially like you do in FPL. I think this game is more tailored to picking the centre backs, the boring centre backs. So someone like, you know, Gehi can do really, really well. Again, I don't think there's a clear pick between Theo Hernandez and uh, Kunde either, because Kunde tends to do slightly better for ball recoveries. So you can pick the defensive fullbacks if you want. I don't think you necessarily have to pick the attacking defender. Next question is from Sean. Varga is Hungary's number 9. I have no idea who is. I mean, I'll be honest. I just think there are better options to pick in the forward line. I mean, when you have the limitless chip, and when you can pick on an unlimited budget, why would you want to pick a Hungary striker over the likes of Jota, Kane, Lukaku, Mbappe is my question. Or even Griezmann for that matter. I mean, there are plenty of options then to consider. Best trip strategy, Vishal. Um, okay, so I'll address this again. We sort of discussed and touched upon this in match day one, where we sort of had this consensus, both me and Gianni, that Limitless 3 is probably the best, because this is the time when teams are going to rotate, and some of the top teams like Spain, Germany, these kind of teams, they have little to play for, and you'd want to stock up on a lot of these favorable fixtures. When you look at the fixtures, for example, France versus Poland, Portugal versus Georgia, Spain versus Albania, England versus Slovenia, Belgium versus Ukraine, you want players from these teams. And obviously these are top teams, so you would want to have an unlimited budget, which is exactly the case with the Limitless. The upside will decrease if you sort of hold the Limitless after this week. I mean, I guess there's a case of doing it if your team looks all right, but the upside won't be as high as it is right now. And the wild card, we sort of came to this consensus that probably using it in the quarterfinals is the best way to go around it, because you only get 3 transfers to navigate that stage after the round of 16. And if there are 1 or 2 upsets, then you might not be able to play with a squad of 15 without taking hits, which is obviously not optimal given the format of the game, and given that every point matters, especially in a short tournament like this. Dan is asking, how do you think England will set up? It's an interesting question. I don't think Trent will start. I think Trent will go out. I think maybe Gallagher comes in. Um, I think the defense is likely to remain the same. If anyone gets rotated, it will be Trippier. But if I was to guess, I think they'll play with the same back five. Uh, Rice will play. I think Gallagher can come in for Trent. Bellingham will play. Kane will play. I think one of Saka or Foden might not play. So I'm not entirely sure. That's why I'm not considering either of them on the Limitless ship. Someone's asking, which Germany mid are you considering? Um, it's tough to say. I mean, I think if Sane is starting, then he might be the one, actually, because he hasn't played any games so far, and if there's nothing at stake, then the manager might leave him on for for the majority of the minutes. If let's say someone like Musiala, even if he is starting, he could get taken off early. Um, so yeah, I don't think I'd go with Musiala. Sane and Gundogan are ones I'm considering. Gundogan, I still think if he's starting, should be relatively okay for minutes. But again, I'm not fully convinced with the Germany team and their mids. I don't think I'll have more than one. Thoughts on Schick as differential Mbappe isn't playing. Um, the thing is, we won't find out. It's very unlikely that we find out whether Mbappe is playing or not. We can only go on rumors, so it's unlikely to be a scenario where we find out whether or not he's playing. Schick is all right. I mean, Czech Republic are projected to score around 1.55 goals against Turkey, which is all right. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. Uh, I guess Schick is their talisman, so you can go there. I don't necessarily mind him. I still think there are better options out there, but as a differential, I don't hate him as such. Next question, please. Almar is about. I think Aurea. I'm gonna go with Aurea Zabal. Almost certainly, I think he's gonna be on penalties as well. There's a good chance he can take penalties, and I still think he's gonna be more secure for minutes as well. Thoughts on Kane and his Musiala, Bruno, and De Bruyne a good pick. I mean, I like Kane. Gianni wasn't really hot on him simply because England haven't looked great so far, but I still think they will win 2 or 3-0 against Slovenia, which is why Kane is always going to be a solid option. I guess he won't be a captaincy option, especially if Mbappe is playing on the same day, but he's still a fine pick, and you want players who are going to score points, and Kane is likely to be one of them. Musiala we just touched upon earlier. Bruno and De Bruyne. De Bruyne especially is going to be a good pick now that Belgium still have plenty to play for, and he's going to play close to 90 minutes. Bruno, I can't really say that with the same conviction because Portugal can rotate theoretically, but out of their mids, I still think Bruno has the highest chance of playing the highest number of minutes. So he still should be a good pick to go for. I know that the midfield picks aren't exactly straightforward to pick on the Limitless, and Bruno is one of them that I like. Next question is from Zam93. Thoughts on Neto now that Leao is suspended? Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the idea. I mean, we can go there similar with sort of Trossard, like we were touching upon earlier, who might play because the left winger is suspended. So, I mean, these are the kind of differential picks you can go for in Euro Fantasy. And remember, this game, Euro Fantasy, it's it's meant to be more fun, and it's meant to be more of a, let's say, a relaxing or a chill kind of game, as opposed to FPL where a lot of decisions are at stake, and if you make one bad decision, it's going to be it might backfire for weeks and weeks, or whatever decisions or a transfer you make, they get scrutinized week on week. I mean, it's a limitless trip. It's a one-off. You might as well have fun. This is why I don't really want to pick anyone, sort of put anyone off from picking any differentials of their choice. My diamond is saying, Bigman, can you please inform Gianni of his era in his own way, as he told everyone it's 8 p.m. deadlines from now on, yet it's 5 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, just trying to help me. Of course, I will just text Gianni after this show and let him know that he can clarify. It's 8 p.m. I think today and tomorrow, but yes, on Tuesday and Wednesday they're earlier because there are more games there. Gundogan or Neto too? I mean, if I was picking one and if Gundo was starting, I'd pick Gundogan. Next question is from Milan. What do you think of Grant? No, I can't bring myself to pick a defensive midfielder from France on wildcard. I just can't go there. I mean, I'm all for differentials, but not picking defensive midfielders as differentials at this stage. I mean, what are you going to gain effectively other than ball recoveries? All right, final question, guys. Final question is from Sam. Why would you choose to use the Limitless? So Sam, we addressed this earlier in the stream. If you sort of go back and watch, I'll address it again to help you out. With the example of my own team. So when you look at my team, I have, and I assume this is similar to a lot of teams that are out there. So I have Ronaldo, I have Sudakov, I have Trent, I have Guardiol, I have Lunan, I have Costa, I have Quaradona from Georgia. These are 7 players I don't think I would be picking if I was on a limitless. And in a short format game where there are gains to be made early in the tournament, and because the fixtures from the next round on are going to get difficult, and I don't think we're going to see these lopsided kind of scores, which we might see in this round. I think the upside is to use the limitless in this week as opposed to using it next week. And if you have 6, 7, 8 players to sell, or which you would call suboptimal for this round, I think you are probably better off using the limitless, which is the case with my team and with Gianni's team. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining the stream. It's been a pleasure having you guys on here. We will get back to you in like 3, 4 days' time. I think we'll have another stream before the round of 16. Me and Gianni will be on again. We might have Dean joining us. We will keep you posted regarding it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Here's Bigman. Here's been Chasing Green Arrows.